I just heard that Iran, in a cowardly manner, is trying to shirk its responsibility for the incident. So I determined unequivocally, Iran is the one that carried out the attack on the ship. Iran's bullying is dangerous not only to Israel, but also to global interests, the freedom of navigation, and international trade. We have the evidence, and we expect the international community to clarify to the Iranian regime that they have made a big mistake. We, in any case, have our own way to relay the message to Iran.
Nader Hasemi is the director of the Middle East Studies Center at the University of Denver, and he joins us live from Toronto. Thank you so much for your time. Can you start by telling us what evidence has been presented implicating Iran in this strike?
Well, no evidence has been presented, but I think if you objectively look at this topic, the Islamic Republic of Iran has the capability to carry out this type of attack. It has a motive for carrying out this type of attack, and it has a history of hitting tankers in and around the Persian Gulf. So when you put that all together, the likely suspect is the Islamic Republic of Iran, although no clear evidence has been presented yet.
Attacks like this on commercial shipping in the region aren't necessarily new, but this is the first fatal strike in many years. So is this an indication that the attacks are intensifying? And what's driving the attacks?
Yes, the attacks are intensifying. And I think what's driving the attacks are two things. Number one, there has been a regional shadow war between Israel and Iran, hitting each other's targets going back many years, specifically hitting maritime shipping of each other's countries in the last 2 years. And I think the motive here is very much regional tensions between these two countries. They have very different views of the future of the Middle East. But the other key element here that suggests an increase in these types of attacks are the stalled nuclear negotiations in Vienna. Iran, I think, is seeking to use its leverage in the region by hitting Western targets, American targets, Israeli targets, by sending a message to the United States that it has weapons that it can use to its advantage, unless it gets concessions at the nuclear negotiating table. So I think that's what's happening as well.
And what are the international implications that you're seeing here? What do you expect to happen from now?
Verbal condemnation from many countries that are allied with Israel, but nothing of substance. The evidence is not 100% certain at this moment. It hasn't been presented, at least. Iran purposely undertakes these actions so that there's plausible deniability, so it can't be held to account. So I don't think going forward, there's going to be any military retaliation, but I suspect Israel will try to step up its attacks against Iranian targets. And they've been doing this for a very long time. Recall at the end of last year, Israel assassinated Iran's top nuclear scientist. They've been hitting Iran's nuclear facilities and its economic targets as well. So I suspect we're going to see more of that from Israel by way of retaliation.
Nader Hasemi joining us live from Toronto. Thank you.